Okay, well, let's start in a seated position today. And just take a first minute or so to get yourself settled, whether that's a little organic movement, like those stretches were really great, or just starting to connect to your seat and your breath. Letting this first moment just be about letting whatever you arrive with just kind of come to the surface, start to notice. You can take a few cleansing breaths. And let your body come into stillness for just a moment. Let your breath be just as it is, whatever feels good to you. There's no right or wrong. Let the movement subside. Just see what it feels like to sit in silence for a few moments this morning. Let this silence be the ever-growing space around you and within you that allows you to pause throughout your day, that reminds you that you can take a breath before you have to take your next step in anything that you do today. Let this space, the silence, hold the peace and the kindness and all of the qualities that you value. See if you can feel this space within your body and around your body being filled with the energy of peace, of gratitude, and again, any of the other powerful, high vibrating emotions that are important to you today. Try to feel yourself as large as the universe, as expansive as the universe, where every breath you take is the universe breathing. And then feel yourself as the smallest little particle, the inside of a particle that you could imagine. The space that's at the center of the smallest thing that we know of in this universe. And every breath that you breathe breathes into this one small, tiny space that is connected to every other small, tiny space in the universe. Let's start to move into our wake up routine from here, but we're going to do this really gently and slowly today. So you can begin to deepen your breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, finding the space right below your collarbones. And let's give it a massage to start. And then if it feels good to you, maybe a light tap, gently, slowly, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Giving yourself a gentle wake up this Thursday morning and being really kind and compassionate and loving to yourself in these next 50 minutes. Setting the tone for the rest of your day and hopefully for the rest of your week as well. Carry you forward with the energies of love. Move to the center of the sternum, giving yourself a little tap here. And maybe if the tap feels a little jarring, you can even tap into the field right outside of the physical body. Slowly breathing in through the nose, gently breathing out through the mouth. To the side seam of the body, finding the end of the spleen meridians and remembering that these points are really tiny, like the tip of a pinhead. So using your fists or your fingers, you're going to find these spots. You're going to cover the space. Feel yourself sitting just a little taller here, letting those shoulders open up. And one more tap lightly on the cheekbones, helping the body to ground. Get connected to this element of earth as we move through the transitional time between summer and fall. Taking a moment to turn inwards and to reflect on the past season. Taking a moment to pause. And maybe you tap all around the outsides of the eyes. If there's any sinus pressure or allergies coming in, give yourself a nice tap here. Give some space to breathe. And then shake off the hands and just let them rest on the knees for a moment. Take a quiet breath and notice how you feel. Notice how you feel as a whole without focusing on anything in particular. And start to deepen your breath again in through the nose and out through the mouth, and gently tap same hand to thigh. Pause that movement. Open your arms to a cactus shape. Take up a little more space here. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, opposite hand to thigh as you start to cross over the center line, cross crawl. Doing about 3 times as many in this pattern as we did in the same hand to thigh. Turn your attention inwards. Imagine your brain speaking to your body in a coordinated and harmonious kind of way, where there's no disconnect between mind and body. The two are working together to move you forward into this Thursday, into this new season. Letting go of any stagnancy as you breathe out, helping clear the space forward. And then pause that movement and bring your hands one over the other in front of the pubic bone. Taking a quiet moment here to set your intention. Let a word of higher vibration bubble up from the depths to come through you through the ether. Let this word start to ground you into the earth, into your body here and now. Hold this word in your mind as you inhale and sweep your hands straight up the center line, reaching overhead. And as you exhale, spread that intention out into your space, out into the universe. Do that 2 more times on your own, feeling that intention zip straight up the body. Exhale and spread it into your world. Everyone that comes in contact with you today will be affected by this intention, by the energy that you bring to every moment. Middle finger comes to the belly button and to the third eye for the hookup. Gently press in and draw up, breathing in. Out through the mouth, exhale, soften in the back of the neck. Take 2 more breaths here for yourself, connecting the core energies around the body. Hoping to bring integrity into your structure, into your spine. Connecting you to your wisdom. Hands come back down to the thighs for a moment. Start to move into your yogic breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And bring your palms together and rub them together, generating a little heat between the palms. Take off the hands and then bring the palms over the forehead, eyes, and cheeks as you gently bow your head down into your hands. Let yourself be held. Notice how your hands caress your face. The care that you give yourself in this practice. And just send a little love note to yourself here that you will always be by your side, that you will never leave yourself hanging, that you'll rest when you need to rest. And that every day you'll find a moment for this type of self-care, whether it's 3 breaths, palming the eyes, whether it's 10 minutes in meditation, or maybe a moment to massage your hands and feet before bed. Remember this feeling of really caring for yourself, nurturing yourself first. You can just start to massage the forehead here with the fingers as you release. And scrub the head like you're shampooing all over the scalp. And see if there's any areas that are a little tender. Give that a little extra love. You can massage the base of the head, down the sides of the neck, and onto the shoulders. Give yourself a squeeze on the shoulders. Breathe in and exhale to slide the hands down over the chest and continue to rake the fingers away from each other here on the sternum. All the way down the center of the sternum. Reach around for your back and then continue to massage down the back, pulling away from the spine, moving down each vertebra. And again, just noticing if there's any tender areas and helping to move that stuck energy. When you get all the way down to your glutes, shake off your hands and then swipe down your back 3 times, just kind of like you're smoothing your shirt, smoothing your skin. Now make your feet accessible, and you can really just do one at a time here. You're going to use your palm and just flip the palm up and back over the base of your foot, helping to correct the polarity and the way in which you connect to the earth, that magnetism. Do both feet here, palm down and then back of the hand, just flipping it over the bottom of the foot. And then let your legs just sit comfortably. Maybe that's Baddha Konasana. Maybe you're just cross-legged here. We're going to trace the stomach and spleen meridians, which are all about nourishing your body here. It's about connecting to that earth element. So let's start on the cheekbones where you tapped earlier. Drop down towards the chin and circle out and around your face. Coming right down the center of the face and neck, flaring out at the shoulders. Coming in at the ribs and belly, coming out towards the hips and then down the legs and off the second toe. And then we'll trace up spleen from here. Hands start at the base of the big toe, tracing up the inseam of the leg, flaring out at your hips and coming up towards the shoulders and down towards the side body, again, where we tapped earlier, end of spleen. Good. And then make your way into a tabletop position, slowly, slowly. And we're just going to find our way to stand from here. So take your time. Let's give those feet a little stretch. You can shift your hips back towards your heels, almost a child's pose. And when you feel ready, stretch out those arms, spread the hands wide, and start to come into a downward facing dog. But keep this really easy. A little pedal in the feet, lengthening the backs of the legs. Start to lift your hips a little bit higher, and then deeply bending the knees. Stretching out the arms, letting the neck release. And taking baby steps up to the front of the mat, try to keep your hands connected as long as you can until you get to the very front. And then ragdoll here. Bend the knees, hold on to opposite elbows, right onto the outside of the elbows. Let yourself hang. Maybe a gentle sway if that feels good. Deepening your yogic breath in and out through the nose. This is like a rinse for your body. If there are any kinks from the way you slept last night or any lingering tension, just feel the gravity helping to elongate any of those wrinkles, to smooth them out. You can play in your movement here with the knees, with the movement or stillness, and especially with the breath. Pause the movement, release the elbows, and slowly start to round up to stand. Knees are bent, arms and head are heavy. Slowly, slowly. If the eyes are closed, bat them open. And start to let the blood rebalance as you come to stand. Gentle loop through the shoulders. Tadasana. Find the grounding in your heels and balls of the feet. Spread your toes nice and wide, just like you do with your hands. And then bring your hands into Emi Mudra. All the fingertips touch. The index fingers at the base of the throat, thumbs plug into the heart. Loop your shoulders back here. Open through your chest and start to engage your legs. Feeling the inner arches of the feet lift. And the energy of that lift starts to come up through the legs, engaging the quads. A little tuck in the tailbone as you engage in the low belly, and continue to lift energy up into the center of your chest and up through the crown of your head. Take a couple more breaths here, connecting the meridian energy of the fingertips. Can you start to feel a little pulse between the fingers, noticing the sensations, the way that your energy speaks with you through vibration? And release the arms down, inhaling, sweep them all the way back up. Celtic weave. We're going to stay standing and just weave down the center of the body, smoothing your aura. Inhale, arms come up, twist to the left, Celtic weave, left side space. Soothing gently. Inhale, come up through center and twist to the right, Celtic weave. Inhale, come through center, and this time we'll come all the way down, weaving into your forward fold. Heel toe your feet apart and come into Malasana or yogi squat. If you need some padding under the heels, bring in a blanket here or maybe place a block underneath of your seat. Bring the right hand to the center of your mat and gently press into the knee as you lift your left arm out and up into a twist. Just going to your extent, and circle your wrist here 3 times in one direction and 3 times in the other direction. Flick each finger off of your thumb, shooting up little sparks, and then flick all the fingers off the thumb a few times. Celtic weave through this left side space as you bring the left hand down to replace the right, and switch sides. Right arm comes out and up, circling the wrist and fingers 3 times. Switch, 3 more. Flicking each finger off the thumb and all the fingers off the thumb. And Celtic weave, right side space, coming back down into Malasana. Lift your hips, parallel the outside edges of the feet, let yourself hang. And then we'll trace up spleen to rise, hands at the big toes, carrying that energy up the inseams of the legs, nourishing your body, flare out of the hips, up to the shoulders. Step your feet together as you come down to the side body, give a little buzz. Yin yang meridian clear. Inhale, arms come up, right arm over the left, slide down the outsides of the arms, the backs of the shoulders. cross over at your belly and then down the outsides of the legs and off the pinky toe. Come back up the inseam of the leg using your whole hand. Coming up, spleen all the way to the shoulders, down to the side. Switching the arm that's on top. Inhale, arms up. Left hand on top. Slide down the backs of the arms. Clearing the yang meridians down the back. Across the belly, down the outsides of the legs. Coming up the yin, the inside of the legs. Feeding, nourishing. Tadasana. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Celtic weave as you come back into your forward fold. Don't rush the movement. Let it be really soothing as you weave your hands through your space. Step your right foot back and lower the knee onto the mat, low runner's lunge. Right hand stays down, left arm sweeps out and up into a twist, circling your arm along the length of the body, 3 times in one direction, and then 3 times in the other direction. Synchronizing breath and movement and intention. Let the left hand come to the inside of the foot and heel toe your left foot to the outside edge of your mat into a lizard lunge. As you take your next breath in, look forward. Exhale, shifting back, straighten the front leg. Maybe it doesn't straighten all the way. You go to your extent. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, shifting back. One more time. Inhale, forward, grounding the foot. And exhale, shifting back. Hold it here. Slide your right hand back a little bit so you can anchor it into the mat. Actually, we're going to keep the left hand down. Open twist. Right arm comes up to the sky. Release. Right hand comes back down and then walk towards the front of your mat. Stepping into tabletop. Finding your alignment and then move through a few cycles of cow and cat. So good for your spine. The simplest of yoga postures, right? It's 2 of the poses we probably know the best. And really taking the time today to let it nourish your spine. Complete the cycle that you're on. And when you're finished on that exhale, sit back into child's pose. You can keep the knees a little closer together. Let the forehead come down to a block or to the mat. Let your arms soften. Take a moment for yourself. With every pause, tapping into that spaciousness and expansiveness. The space is the same space as inside of the cell, going to the smallest space that there is that we know of. That space is the same as the expansiveness of the universe. The smallest little cell connected to the largest of the whole. Inhale, come to table. We're going to flow with our breath here. And exhale, shifting back into your child's pose. A couple more times on your own to shift forward. Maybe you can come into a gentle plank. And back to child's pose. Stretching out those arms one more time. Stretch the hips back. Reach the arms forward. Inhale, come to table, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward dog. Take a moment to articulate the pose. Flowing with the breath, inhale to plank, option to lower the knees. Exhale, lift from your core, downward facing dog. Connect to your center of power here. Where do you feel that coming from as you move forward and lift back up? You're connecting to your center. One more time, forward and back. And the next time that you come forward, lower down to your mat through knees, chest, chin. Hover with your butt lifted and chest on the mat. And then slide your legs back, hands right under shoulders, baby cobra. Hold it here. Again, taking a moment to articulate the pose. Hugging the shoulder blades together on the back and shoulders away from the ears. Planting all 10 toes onto the mat. Lengthen the back of the neck, an even swoop from your tailbone into the base of your head. Release into triple warmer rock or crocodile pose, head on the back of the hands. Let the hips soften and rock a little side to side. Pause the movement. Tap into that inner stillness and space. Try to get into the feeling of what it would be like to float in the space. Almost like in water, right? Where there's an effortlessness, but even less density. Bring your hands back under the shoulders, gently engaging the legs, and press up through your tabletop. We're going to move into the other side with our lunge. So you can step your right foot between the hands here. If that's a challenging transition, you can always bring blocks under the hands, and that gives you more space to move. Left hand stays down. Inhale, right arm sweeps out and up, and circle your arm back down, forward, and overhead 3 times in one direction. Switch the direction 3 more times. Come to the inside of the foot, heel toe to the outside edge of your mat for lizard lunge. Inhaling. Exhale, shift back, straightening the legs, toes come up. Move with your breath. Inhale to your lunge. And exhale, shifting back, opening the backs of the legs and hips. Again. Pause the next time you come back into your half splits. Keep the right hand down, lengthen your spine, and then lift your left arm up into an open twist. Release, come back down, walk forward and step back into tabletop. We'll go through that same flow, starting with a few cycles of cow and cat. And if you want to mix it up this time, feel free to do that. Maybe you do a little C curve this time. Wag your tail. Let's take about 3 breaths here to move your spine. To move the fluid of the spine, getting it all nice and lubricated. And then shift back into a closed leg child's pose. Inhale forward to table or half plank. Exhale to child's pose. 2 more times. Find the pattern on your own. Round your spine as you come up this next time, tucking the chin, and then tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Go right into the movement. Inhale, plank, or maybe this time up dog, and back to downward facing dog. 2 more of your choosing. The next time that you come to plank pose, lower down to your mat, either chaturanga or knees, chest, chin again. Baby cobra, holding it up, loop the shoulders back. No compacting in the lower back. Keep the length, breathe here. Soften in your jaw. Open through the chest, the neck. Lower down, triple warmer rock, head on back of hands, hips softly rock side to side. Pausing the movement, settle into the spaciousness, into the feeling of having space all around you and within you. Let your worries ground into the earth. Your hands drawing out any stress to your nervous system. Any things that have caused you to go into fight or flight or flee. Letting these worries, these tensions melt into the earth. Can you notice any sensation under the palms, a sort of magnetism that pulls this sort of tension right out? Transforms the way that your nervous system responds to stress. Re-engage the legs, bring the hands under the shoulders. Let's come up into Cobra one more time here. Loop your shoulders back, press into your hands. You can keep it low, or if you feel okay, you might press into your hands a little more. High Cobra. Good. Release it back down and press up and back. Tabletop, and then downward facing dog. Take a walk to the front of your mat, forward fold. Reach your arms behind your back, interlace your fingers, and open up through the shoulder girdle, lifting the arms up and off the lower back. Hands come to the Ming Man point right behind the belly button. Flatten the backs of the hands and start to circle on the low back. Tracing one of the radiant circuits, bringing healing to where it's needed. And coming into those emotions, those feelings of joy. Start to lift your head and shoulders. Circle your hands in the other direction. So you're in chair pose, circling right behind the belly button. And then stand all the way up. Pause your circles. Dip your hands down towards the sacrum, up and over the hips. Flip your palms a couple times here. And then flatten the hands and come right up the center of the body. Cup around the mouth. 3 audible exhales. Releasing stress from the heart. Letting go of the worry you have for others or the pain you might feel for the world. Let the hands slide down to the heart. Finding compassion for yourself. Take a moment to get quiet and tune into the beat of your own heart. Hands come together, Anjali Mudra, connecting heaven and earth. Inhale, split the palms, one up, one down. Exhale back to your center. Nice and easy, no force here, just getting a really great morning stretch, switching the other way and coming back to your center. Now, whatever way you looked on the first round, look the other way. Maybe looking down this time if you were looking up. And then come back to your center. Same thing on the other side. Press through those heels of the hands. Hold your breath in for just a moment before you come back to center. One more time, each way. Inhale. Exhale. On this last one, we'll come into a forward fold. So reach that top hand up and then diving it all the way down into your forward fold. Let yourself hang and sway fingers on the mat. Let that movement still so you're right into your traditional forward fold. Start to tumble the hands or circle the hands one over top of the other, rolling the hands in towards your body as you start to rise up, feeding into your chakras, into your energy systems as you roll it up until the arms get all the way overhead. And then split the arms, heaven rushing in. Take a moment here, engaging the legs. Finding gratitude as you embrace the energy that comes in on this new day. And then weave your hands and draw that right down into your heart. Placing the hands on the chest. Finding the space. Fingers come down into the hip crease, ileocecal Houston valve clear for your digestion. Press in on the low belly as you inhale, dragging up to the ribs. Exhale, shake it off. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Inhale, draw up. One more time. Press in, drag up. Start underneath the ribs. Press in. Inhale, drag the hands down. And shake it off. Exhale. Sweep your arms out and overhead. Celtic Weave, come into your forward fold. Moving into the 5-element flow, bend your knees, sitting down onto your heels. Starting in the element of water, one hand around the shin, one hand on the earth. The sound is WHO. Inhale, looking forward. Blow it out. 2 more times. Drop the chin. Out and forward. Once more. Hands on the mat, ground your heels as you lift your hips. Start to weed your garden of the junk, of the anger, the things that are like, yuck, I want to get this out. Grab up all of that junk into your fists. Inhale, arms out and overhead. SH sound as you throw it back down. Inhale, sweep arms out and overhead. One more time like this. And then one time slowly grabbing up that thing that makes you super angry. Lift your arms overhead. Slowly press it down. Ground your hands on your thighs. Bringing down the flame for fire. The sound is HA. Inhale, arm sweep overhead. All the fingers touch. Thumbs to the crown as you exhale. Sweep the arms out and around. Thumbs coming to the third eye. Let this release from your heart space. Sweep the arms out and around. Thumbs coming to the heart. Sweep out and around. Thumbs come to your belly button. Flatten the hands on the low belly. Taking 2 more of those ha breaths. Seek the fire into the lower energy centers. Sweep your hands down and off the legs, and then sweeping back up the inseam, feeding in love. Tracing up spleen, come to the shoulders, down to the side body, giving a buzz. Wrap your arms around your waist and ribs and start to rock side to side, cradling the baby for earth. Making a commitment to always take care of yourself. How many times have you asked somebody else to take care of themselves, themselves, right? And how often have you really taken your own advice? Hopefully it's a lot. Hopefully it's every day. Hopefully it's finding even a small moment of conscious action to nurture your own energy. Say thank you for being here this morning, for tending to yourself. And pause that movement and inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Hold the breath in as you draw down whatever it is that you need today. It's just for you. Then slide your hands behind the ears as you exhale and reach your arms out. Inhale. Fold as you take your next breath out and stand on the hands onto the base of the feet. You can use your fingers here to press into the base of the big toe. You can either come from the inside edges of the feet or toes coming to the crease of the wrists. And then with 3 breaths, pulling up and away from the arms and exhaling to soften and refold. 2 more times, pulling up and away, and then deeply grounding as you press feet into hands. Last one on your own. Sliding the hands out from under the feet. Inhale, tracing up the inseam of the legs, drawing the energy up. Take a moment, finding your Tadasana, open your palms and begin to engage through the legs into our final element of metal and helping us to move full cycle, full circle through whatever it is that we're going through. The sound is S, transforming your grief into wisdom and the ability to let go. Inhale, low back bend. Exhale, fingers almost touch as you reach out and around. Inhale, height of the shoulders, engage the legs. Exhale, hugging around. One more time, the arms reach overhead. Keep your S sound going. Slide down the backs of the arms and land the hands on the upper lobes of the lungs, outer chest. Taking another S breath here, letting go of grief in the lungs. Slide the hands down towards your thighs. You can close the eyes if that feels good, or just steady your gaze and take a quiet moment to notice how you feel. Maybe there's no words to describe that. It's just an overall sense of your body, the space within and around, of your mental, emotional state, of your spiritual state and connection, the feeling of your breath and getting just so connected to all facets of yourself, all facets of yourself. Inhale, let your arms lift up and overhead. Exhale, slowly weave the hands coming down into a squat. You're going to step all the way back and come onto your belly, So you don't need to chaturanga or do anything fancy. Just roll yourself down, and we'll come into a downward facing triple diamond. So the knees are going to go out to the side and touch your feet behind you. The feet might not come down to the mat, and that's okay. Then make a diamond shape with your thumb and index finger and bring that shape right beneath your forehead. So you're giving like a little space for your nose. So finding this diamond shape in a few places through the body. We have it in our legs, we have it in our elbows and arms, and we have this shape in our hands positioned under the head. Take a moment to settle in here. Let the feet get a little heavy. Releasing whatever worries you. The earth has the amazing ability to support you fully, to support you through those emotions of worry. To feed you the nutrients, the love, the care. It's called Mother Nature, that mothering aspect of nature. Slowly start to release, bringing the hands beside you, bringing the knees back in, and gently press up through table and sit back into a child's pose. You can cross the hands and rest them under the head, or keep them extended. You can find what feels best to you. A moment to turn inwards before continuing with the rest of your day. Remind yourself of your intention. Can you feel that intention following your breath into the depths of your body? Sinking into your mind, into your heart, into your belly. Gently press yourself up. Bring the legs around in front of you and come down to your back. Set up for a bridge pose as you come down. Hands by your sides, feet tucked in close. Flowing bridge. Inhale, roll your spine up, lift your arms up and back. Exhale, roll the spine down, hands down. Inhale, rolling up, lifting up. Exhale, roll it down. Imagine it's like a massage chair for your spine here, massaging as you roll up, massaging as it rolls back down, and then keep the hips low. Let the knees rest against one another and intuitively give yourself a massage. I'm going to call out some points here, so you're welcome to follow along with that also. But you can also just intuitively go to where maybe there's soreness or stagnancy. You can massage down the center of the sternum and in between each of the ribs. Right in the center of the breast, pressing down towards the bone, and right under the breast, making a little smiley face. A smiley right along the edge of the ribs, underneath the ribs, in the creases of the armpits, the outside edges of the biceps, and right with your thumb right into the center of your bicep, right on the front of the arm. Massaging all around the belly. You can make a big circle from hip crease to right waist to the middle where the ribs connect, left waist, left hip. Can scrub across the pubic bone, left and right, and in the hip creases themselves. A couple inches to the sides of your belly button, both above and below. The inner and outer edges of your thighs. Take a deep breath here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Come back into your bridge setup. Take one more bridge, keeping the arms down, and hold the hips up for about 3 breaths here. Slowly lower the hips back down. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a compassionate hug. And as you take your next exhale, draw the forehead to the knees and curl into a little ball. Release the head back down. Let the feet come down, arms to a T. Bump the right hip to the center of the mat. Knees come back in towards the chest as you roll to your right into a twist. Option to extend the left leg out to the side, holding behind the knee. If it's available, gaze comes up towards the sky or over the left arm. 3 breaths. Bend the top knee, come back through center, realigning your hips, and then go the other way. Left hip comes towards the center, knees draw in and roll to the left. Right leg extends out to the side and hold behind the knee. Gaze rolls to the right as you let that right shoulder fall open. Massaging the stomach with your breath and posture. The stomach works so hard for us. It does so much to nourish your body, to absorb what it needs from the food that you eat, and to release what you don't. I think more than anything, maybe the stomach deserves a massage. Rebend your top knee, come back through center, realign your hips, and take a final resting pose of your choosing. Maybe that's a reclined Baddha Konasana, or maybe you let the knees rest against one another. Maybe it's just Shavasana. I'm going to offer you one more hold in this final resting pose, a rooster comb. So you can let your head roll to one side and use the one hand starting at the forehead and rolling the fingers back towards the center of your crown. And the other hand starts at the back of the head behind the eyes and interweaves the fingers with the front hand. So you're covering the center line of your skull. And it might feel better to put a blanket under one of your arms to prop it up, especially the the back hand, back arm. So wherever you're at, just allow yourself to settle in, enjoying these last few moments of your practice. You can switch, if you're in that rooster comb, you can switch your gaze the other way. Just bring a little balance into the neck. And if you're in your rooster comb, bring the head through center and find a neutral neck, letting the arms drape down for just a few more breaths, letting the energy of the body do what it knows how to do best. Optimized and flowing. Keep a gentle awareness on your breath. Let it be full and complete without any force, without any need for perfection. Keep this nice flowing full breath as you start to rebend your knees, curl fingers into the wrist, into fists, and wiggle the hands and toes. And roll over to your side to gently press up into a cross-legged seat where you began. Bring your hands together at heart center in a gesture of humility and humbleness and gratitude. Send your gratitude in any direction that you'd like this morning. As I always like to remind you, make sure you turn some of that gratitude in towards yourself. Take a little bow, seal in your practice, bowing to that divine light that resides in each and every one of us. May we see this light in everyone we encounter today. Namaste, and thank you.